Hey, how you doing? This is RJ. I take it you clicked on this video because you want to find out what's going on. And for all you people that have been here from the first, this is where you get to get a piece of news before you get it anyplace else. This is your reward for listening to me rant all the time, especially about things like X-Men Red and X-23. Now, I listened to the latest Women of Marvel podcast, and it was a recording of the Women of Marvel panel at the New York Comic Con. And in this panel, well, there's several things that I could go over that would just make your head split. But near the end, there is a question from someone in the audience about trans characters in comics. And the question basically is that this person said, I don't know if it was a he or she because I was just listening to the audio. I don't know. But the question was that, is there going to be any more trans characters? Can they get them in there somehow without it being called SJW nonsense? And Sana Amanat took the question. And her answer to the question was that she can't talk about it, but there is something in the works. Now, what she said around that will give you enough clues to figure out what's going on, and at very least make a really good guess at who this is going to be. Because she talked about it in terms of there was someone always hitting up the people who are creators for X-Men, and they are doing that on Twitter, and finally Sana Amanat replied to them. So, we got our first hint that this new trans character is going to be an X-Men. Well, it's actually not going to be a new character. It's going to be one of the X-Men. That's probably what it's going to be. Now, at the very least, we know it's going to be in an X-Men comic. And we have a confirmation of that because she also talked about Tom Taylor. And Tom Taylor right now, the only thing that I know that he is writing for Marvel is X-Men Red. So, I could not find where Tom Taylor had said this. I looked through his interviews. I went through his Twitter, even though he has me pre-blocked, I'm sure, because I follow diversity in comics. Although these people are idiots, because literally I have like 3 browsers open every moment I have my computer on. All I got to do is switch to a new one, and then I can go look at his feed. Really, how's that going to block anything? I don't know. Anyways, so I can't find anything on his feed either to say what is going on here. But according to Sana Amanat, again, speaking in terms of she has been talking to people about this concerning the X-Men, and that Tom Taylor has let this slip somewhere else. If anyone else knows where Tom Taylor has let this slip, please put it in the comments. I'd really like to know, see if I can get a little more information on this. But I would say, from what Sana Amanat has said, it is going to be one of the X-Men Red that is going to be turned into a trans character. And I don't think it's going to be a new character brought into the X-Men Red either. The way that she is speaking, she said that it was going to be organic and part of the story. So, I can surmise from what she said and how she said it. Now, if you want to go listen to it yourself, I mean, obviously, listening to the Women of Marvel panel is painstaking. You could go over to the Marvel website and go to their podcast and listen to it. It's about 3/4 of the way through that she says this, and she only talks about it for about 30 seconds, maybe 40. So, who do we have on X-Men Red that could be this character that they're going to change? Well, we have Jean Grey, we have Nightcrawler, we have Namor. We have this new character, Gentle. We have Storm, we have Trinity, we have X-23, not Wolverine. We have Honey Badger, and we have Gambit. So, if we can take from what Sana Amanat has said, that it's going to be one of the X-Men, and that it's been worked on and already started to be worked on by Tom Taylor, well, what do we got? We got Tom Taylor writing X-Men Red, and he's been working on it for a little while. Who do we think it might be? Who do you think it might be? Now, I will discount a few people, I would say. I would discount Storm, because she has the whole thing going with Black Panther, and they don't want to mess that up. That would be a whole new can of worms that they would open up, so they can't do that. It's not going to be Gambit, because he's married to Rogue, and that's something that's just came out, and you got your Rogue and Gambit series, so not going to be Gambit. It better not be Nightcrawler, I'll tell you that. Because if you know the history of Nightcrawler, no, he's a very religious guy and a very specific kind of religious guy. If they turn Nightcrawler into that, there's going to be a furore, I'll tell you that right now. I don't think they'll do it to Jean because, of course, she has such a long history, and that would just incense people to no end. That would make everybody blow up. Now, that leaves us with Namor. Now, on Taylor's Twitter account, he goes on about Namor wearing fishnets, but I really don't think they can do that to Namor. He's been around for a long time. And what Son Amanat said, it would be something that would run with the character. So he's at a really long haul in Marvel Comics, although, making Cap a Nazi, so really, is anything beyond them? So, but I really don't think it's going to be Namor. So that leaves Gentle, Trinity, Fake Wolverine, X-23, and Honey Badger. Now, again, I don't think it's either going to be Trinity or Gentle, because they are two new characters. You barely got them in there, and it might be one of them. It really might, but I don't think so, because, again, they're talking about this being worked on for a little bit now by Tom Taylor. So, my guess is it's either one of those four: Gentle, Trinity, Fake Wolverine, or Honey Badger. I would discount, personally, I'd say discount Gentle and Trinity. They're two new characters. You have Fake Wolverine and you have Honey Badger. Now, Taylor has worked on those in the last all-new Wolverine. He's had both of those characters under his control for a little while now. So if Tom Taylor has had this in the works for a while, I would say it's either going to be Fake Wolverine or Honey Badger. And if you've been reading Fake Wolverine or her new book, X-23, or if you've been reading X-Men Red, you know already who it's probably going to be. It's probably going to be Honey Badger, because she is getting conflicting feelings about other girls on the bus and things like that, and she doesn't want Jean to push around too much in her mind and see things that she doesn't want her to see. So my guess is they're going to make Honey Badger trans. Now this character, they have used this character and abused this character so much that this is what makes me a little bit upset. Is because I did videos on this for X-23, right? You have this child, literally a child, and she has a mentality of like a 6 or an 8-year-old, and they're throwing her into battles. And they're making her a soldier, which they're making her a child soldier, right? That's what they're doing in the books. They're making her a child soldier, even though she could be over at the X Mansion, going to school. But no, they make her a child soldier, which, by the way, is a war crime. And then what do they do in the last X-Men Red? Well, they make her an experiment, basically. They put Cerebro on her so that her mind can be torn apart over and over again because she doesn't feel pain. This is a character that they have used and abused so much in all of these books. They don't care that the character is a child. Not at all. They think that just because this character is a child doesn't mean that they could take the child and put her through torturous things at the hands of the heroes standing beside her. So my guess is that they're going to make Honey Badger trans. Now, like I said, this is just my guess. From what I have heard from Son Amanat, they are doing this with Marvel Comics and doing it with a Marvel character. From what she said about X-Men and Taylor, I would say it's something that Taylor has worked on or is working on now. Probably both. So we have it whittled down to one of the X-Men Red. I would whittle it down further by taking out all of the legacy characters, because they said it was going to be an organic thing that would fit with the character. I would take out the very new characters because they said that it has been worked on by Taylor for a while now. So that leaves 2. And of those 2, Fake Wolverine and Honey Badger, the one that has had conflicting feelings about her sexuality has been Honey Badger. So, what do you think about this? Do you think this is a good move on Marvel's part? Honestly, if they want to do this, I don't know. Is this a good move or not? What makes me upset is how they treat Honey Badger. Not just doing this with her, but every way. I mean, this is what they do to this child. You know, fake Wolverine buys her nunchucks and brass knuckles so that she can beat on people. And she has the mentality of a 6-year-old. Anyways, what do you think? What do you think about this? If anybody has any more information about this, if anybody has that quote from Tom Taylor where he talks more about this, let me know. Let me know in the comments. And leave it in the comments. Tell me what you think about this. So, hopefully, today, I've given you something new to think about. Maybe I've even broken a story that Marvel really doesn't want you to know about yet, because that's the way Son Amanat is talking about it. So, if I've given you anything new to think about, hit like. Hit the shield in the lower right-hand corner of your screen to subscribe, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about this development. I'll see you later. Bye.